So I have to admit, PlayStation has some weird announcements and a little bit of kind of weird things going on right now. To be honest with you, I feel like this is something that people are talking about, but maybe aren't talking about enough. I'm not really sure. So, as some of you guys might know, there's been some negativity, obviously, with Bungie and things like that. Now, clearly, I want to kind of put this out. Like the Bungie get was a pretty big deal at the time, but I feel like as time goes on, that was more and more a reactionary thing to Microsoft going after Activision and all the other places they were going after. I got to keep it real. To me, it just seems like Sony was just trying to get whatever they could because they felt like Microsoft was buying up everything, and also clearly Sony wanted to kind of do a a situation where they were getting content and they weren't going to be kind of left behind from getting content, and they also have kind of switched focus to more of a games as a service type situation. And unfortunately, games as a service is such a hit or miss thing, and realistically there's only so much of that pie to go around, and the war zones and apexes and fortnites and PUBGs seem to have that locked up. You might see limited success, like if you look at some of the limited success with something like the Helldivers 2, right? But even that has died off. It's not a constant success like you would see with Fortnite or whatever. And Bungie was supposedly brought in to help out with making games like that. You know what I mean? So it's just to me it's kind of interesting to see that. But there was some layoffs at Bungie, and now even more layoffs at Bungie. But there is some decent news out of this. So I guess we can kind of hang our hats on that. PlayStation is spinning off a new studio to work on Bungie's new science fiction fantasy action game. So, there's that. One of Bungie's incubation projects will continue with many members of its development team, only at a new studio that's being spun off by PlayStation themselves. So, many people are kind of looking at the, like I said, it's just one of those things. But Bungie was hit with another round of significant layoffs, with 220 people being laid off and a couple hundred more roles being shifted out to PlayStation, though that's not the extent of the changes that the studio is bringing into effect. CEO Pete Parsons has announced in an update published on the studio's website that Bungie and PlayStation are spinning off a new first-party studio, which will take over development of one of Bungie's incubation projects, a new science fantasy action IP. As per journalist Jason Schreier, roughly 75 people will be moving from Bungie to this new studio. Details on the project are currently scant, but past reports have suggested that it's being developed under the codename Gummy Bears, and it is a team-based action title with a lighthearted and comedic tone. Further details on the project and the studio itself are currently unavailable, but presumably Sony will be making official announcements regarding the game in due time. So again, that's sort of an interesting type of sidebar with all the negativity that's going on around Bungie right now. Now, listen, here's the thing. I think there's good and bad to this. Obviously, clearly the bad is that people are losing their jobs in the industry right now. Some of it, again, when you look at stuff like here's the thing, and I never wish anybody loses their job or whatever, but you look at stuff like Concord, right? And that game looks like ass. They're using like pronouns, and they got the whole ugly character thing, and it's just like there's nothing special about that game. And when you see stuff like that, it makes you kind of like question what's going on. Like that studio is like, you don't have to be like a mind reader or anything like that, but that studio is going to probably face layoffs, and that game is DOA, for many reasons, but clearly people are kind of speaking with their wallets when it comes to this kind of stuff now, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. I think that us as fans, we look at this stuff and we kind of go, okay, well, that's for me or that's not for me. But I think like the other good thing is, I guess that this Bungie game, since like the whole idea that Bungie was able to get bought out was under the agreement that Bungie would kind of remain eligible to, you know, put games on every platform, right? So now that they're making this game under PlayStation specifically, it sounds like this game could be exclusive. Now, the bad part about this is this game looks like a huge pile of steaming crap if the leaks are to be believed, excuse me. And you know, it's one of those games where they're like, hey, we're inclusive, you know, we've got you know, they look like the typical things that we see nowadays, which I don't believe people really want to see, you know, if you kind of look at it. But here's the description from this leak for this game. I'm not going to post this here, but it says, according to the job posting, it's a team-based action game inspired by several genres in a brand new science fantasy universe. It draws inspiration from fighting games, platformers, MOBAs, life sims, and frog-type games, wrapped up in a lighthearted comedic world. The team is designing for depth, mastery, and Bungie's signature action feel, as well as a friendly, inclusive community. And so the picture that I'm looking at shows the typical, like, character that you would expect from a Sweet Baby Inc. type game. Yeah, you know, again, I don't know what the hell is happening with Bungie, but you know, this is realistically not great. I think that the whole Bungie thing has not paid off very, very well for Sony at all. You know, like if you think about the things that have been canceled, like they canceled a multiplayer Spider-Man project that looked decent. Like, I don't know what it would have held long term, right? But it looked decent. And, you know, also, you know, they canceled the Factions game, which, you know, Factions was okay. I don't know if this would have been like a free-to-play type thing or whatever, but whatever the case may be, you know, but they canceled that, and they go on with Concord, and, you know, they canceled a Twisted Metal game that was going to be like a live service game, and they keep stuff like this. Like, to me, that doesn't make a whole heck of a lot of sense, but in one way, I guess the good out of the bad is that they at least have this studio that can make, you know, that's what I'm talking about. So, you know, like I feel like this is one of the things that honestly you sort of shake your head about, but at least maybe there's some positivity here. I don't know. I'm very curious to hear everybody kind of thinks about this stuff, right? Like, this is one of those things where I feel like could go either way, but we'll see kind of what happens, you know, before too long. You know, I just honestly just feel like, you know, these are the type of things that are happening right now, and you know, listen, I gotta say, when it comes to Xbox, you know, I've questioned them when they've done stupid things. Sony, it's like they do stupid things, then they'll do a good thing, and then they'll do like 3 stupid things and then a good thing, and so you can understand that. But, you know, I'm curious, does anybody even like care about these types of games, like extraction shooters on console? I just don't really feel like anybody's going to care about that. You know, I think it was rumored that Bungie maybe canceled the next Destiny game as well. You know, that's really one of the things that that's happening, you know, and hopefully it's something that changes in the future. You know, we get some good stuff. So, you know, anyway, let me know what you guys think. Are you guys interested in this Bungie stuff? Does the fact that they kind of spun off and created a new studio under PlayStation, does that impress you? Does that you know, do anything for you? Like, I'm curious, you know, because I'm like of the curious type of mind and curious type of person. You know, it could be good. I don't know. Like, I don't want to speak until I like actually see some of this stuff. But you know, let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you wouldn't mind hitting that like button and subscribing, I would appreciate that as well. You guys have been amazing. Let me know what type of videos you'd like to see as well in the future. So let me know. Rack them up, fact them up, Crap Gamer them up as always. Thanks for watching. Crap Gamer